From being the first to retractable features and actual aging in this bloody series? Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Touhou Facts, the series where I talk about facts from Touhou that I find either fun, unusual, or simply interesting. So without further ado, let's begin the Interesting Touhou Facts number 69. Number 5. Given the hype Hidden has brought, and by that, I mean Tanned Chiruno has brought, I might as well discuss a fact about her. So in the past, I've heard people comment that Chiruno would melt if it was too hot, especially in fanworks. And given it's fanwork, I don't take it too seriously. But it's possible this fact I'll be talking about could bring in some light to this joke. So in Visionary Chapter 3, it's basically super hot in Gensokyo. So the 3 fairies of light plus Clown Piece go out and meet the strongest fairy of Gensokyo. There we see that Chiruno is not faring well in this weather. The amount of sweat she's producing is quite a lot. Not simply showing that she's sweating, and I would agree to that, but some might say that she's actually melting given the amount of liquid that's under her. And in the next 2 panels featuring her, she appears to be in a more liquidy form. So one could say that she's melting, or that look was made for a comedic purpose. I mentioned this fact so people could debate if Chiruno is actually capable of melting or not. And to bring some height to Chiruno, that's a bonus. Number 4. So Touhou has a lot of citizens that are based on legends and animals of that sort. Well, it appears that one of them is capable of retracting their iconic look. So returning to Forbidden Squirrelry, in chapter 42 and 43, the girls are having an event of telling a ghost story. You might recall this event as this is where Magiftw told her ghost GPS story. There's a lot of cool things that happen here, but a key part would have to involve the Scarlet Vampire, Retraction. Just to note, this event was participated by both humans and yokai. The thing is, the humans don't know that there are yokais among them in this event, minus Reimu and Marissa. Now, some of the yokais there could have easily passed off as humans, as they don't have some more bestial features to them, like Yukari was fine and Magiftw was transformed as usual. So how would Retraction be able to participate in this without the humans freaking out? Well, it appears she can retract her wings. There are a few times they show Retraction, and each time we don't see her wings. Take this picture in chapter 42. While that person is blocking Retraction's back, it's clear that Retraction's wings are gone. Why? Well, Retraction's wingspan isn't exactly small. While they can fluctuate between the artist's depiction, never once are they so small that you wouldn't notice them at first glance. There are some more panels in chapter 43. Here the picture is a lot smaller, but this time we have a clearer view of Retraction's back, and still nothing. This next panel is a little trickier as we can't see Retraction's back, but once again her wings wouldn't be that small where we wouldn't see it. Going back to a previous panel, it states that the humans were unaware of the non-humans in their presence, meaning Retraction had to retract her wings as anyone with bloody eyes would have noticed Retraction's wings. That, or Gensokyo's blind as fuck, whichever you prefer. Number 3. Well, after going a little more conspiracy theory in the last 2 facts, let's just chill a bit more. Raiko, plays the drum. Well, there's a little more to the drums than meets the eye. The symbols on the smaller drums around her are Mitsudomue. Alright, before we continue on, I gotta admit, the first thing I thought of when seeing that was the Sharingan, and I don't even watch Naruto anymore. Aside from killer eye powers, the Mitsudomue are believed to represent the 3 primary divisions in Shinto, which are man, earth, and sky, and they are also associated with the lightning god, Raijin. Might explain why some of her spell cards had lightning in them. Another thing to note about those drums is that they're reminiscent of the Siemens SDSV, the first commercially available electronic drum kit, and popular in the 1980s. Didn't know hexagonal drums were a thing till now. You learn something new every day. Number 2. Alright, let's talk about the president. No, not that one. This one. Sumiriko. So what can I say about Sumiriko? Well, she's the first president of the Secret Sealing Club. That's cool and all, except the question comes to who the bloody hell were the other members? I could have sworn a club needed to have at least more than one person. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, Sumimiko is a high schooler with somewhat of a superiority complex. She considers herself above her peers and can't stand being near those she considers beneath her. To be fair, when you're able to go toe-on-toe with the residents there, including a fiery immortal, you're probably doing something right. Sometimes filled with unabashed bravado and confidence, a night in Gensokyo changes her tones to something a little more humble. Following her defeat and the end of her incident, Sumimiko gains a sense of respect for the people of Gensokyo and decides to pursue friendship with them. Yeah, by sleeping as much as possible anyway. I still can't help but ask though, if it's a club, who else bloody joined? Because I'm seriously curious. Number 1. Akyu is a character I want to discuss because she does something very clearly that not many, or any, in fact, does at all, and that's aging. Before you go, what the fuck? Let me explain. So Akyu first appeared in Perfect Memento, and at that time, she was only physically 10 years old when the article was first published. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a very long lifespan, presumably because of the reincarnation process. Regardless, as mentioned earlier, she does exhibit the oddity that is bloody aging. If you've seen pictures of Akyu when it came to Perfect Memento, she seemed to be that of a kid, which makes sense. Starting Forbidden Scrollery, we see a much older Akyu. The good thing is that we actually know when she was born given an article written by Aya. We know that Akyu was born in August of 1994. While we don't have an exact date, that's as close as we're going to get. The thing about Akyu and her line of people is that they barely live past the age of 30. And it's also mentioned in Forbidden Chapter 26, Kozuzu visits Akyu and there they held a ceremony. There's a lot of stuff Akyu mentions, but the thing I want to make note of is that the ceremony is for a blessing of longevity. Akyu notes that she has less than 10 years left to live. The thing is though, she's absolutely correct. We know that her birth date is August 1994, and if we use that, we can get a number to Akyu's current age based on when this chapter was released. This chapter was released on March 26, 2015. With that in mind, we know that she's about 20 years old at the time of this chapter. So, if Touhou still continues on, then it's possible we might eventually get some print work that could relate to the death of Akyu if her lifespan is the same as her ancestor. If that happens and my channel is still around, then holy fuck, I really got nothing else better to do. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which facts were your favorite? Do you believe that Rumelia was able to hide her wings like shown in Forbidden? Are you curious if there are any members in the Secret Sealing Club? Or will you guys be around if Akyu kicks the can? Like always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe, or else we may never know if the Secret Sealing Club is an actual club or not. Either way, this is Magi and thanks again for watching.